Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Abe with MysticGenmara.com, a small town mystic from the middle of Idaho. And tonight, whenever you happen to be seeing this, I would like to offer your bonus reading for the elemental energy of air. Air covers the zodiac signs of Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So if you are Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or have air high up in your chart, then this message is for you. I am just shuffling the cards and drawing the cards for your bonus reading for August of 2026. Sorry, forgot what month I was working on. And for a bonus reading, I like to use the Celtic cross. I feel like it gives us the best options and best outlook as far as what's going on around you and within you. But I do make a couple of minor alterations just because it reads better for me that way. So with that being said, I've got a couple more cards here. If you've never had your charts read, there is a link in the description. That one is not a sponsored link or an affiliate or any of that stuff, but it's to Llewellyn, and it gives you your base 12 houses with all the little signs and symbols. And then there's a 10 to 20 page description of what all that chaos means. That way you can understand it a little bit more clearly. The other links to the cards are affiliate links, just so you're aware of that. With that being said, one more card here and we will get started. One thing that I've always found fun is if you see something different with the cards, feel free to leave a comment and let me know what you're seeing. It's always interesting to hear other people's intuitions and opinions on stuff. And sometimes what you might see might be beneficial to another person watching the video. So it's worth checking out. Your significator card, Air, and this is the kind of a little snapshot of you in the moment, is the Five of Pentacles. This is your opposing energy. So you're dealing with some stuff right now that may not be the best, because being opposite, it usually means it's going to bring out your opposite side or a negative prospect of some form. Doesn't mean bad, just means not what you'd usually want to go with. But with the Five of Pentacles, I'm feeling this energy that you're kind of the one leading through the fog of mystery. Like, you don't really know where you're going, but other people are relying on you. So Air, you're having to figure this out as you go, and that's not always a good thing, but it's also where you're at. Like, you can't really say in the moment, I will fix everything yesterday, because that's not how this works. But I'm also feeling that this is not a long-term thing. What I'm seeing with this card is this is a short jaunt, and you're kind of the one you're going to be this dude up here, the eagle flying ahead. You're observing it from a higher perspective, but that doesn't mean that you're able to clear out everything. So you definitely have some challenges ahead trying to sort through things, but you also, that's interesting. I'm hearing that you kind of knew that this was going to happen, and that's why you led them through this. The people around you, whichever it's a coworkers or if it was a relationship, because they needed to gain the higher understanding so that they can see why that situation wasn't the best one, but you're actually kind of leading them through a gentler path, but they still get to see what's going on. The energy that's crossing you is the Knight of Wands, so you're still being a protective energy, but this is fire. And this energy of protection, it's like you're actually going to allow them. You're not protecting them fully. You're going to let them have their hiccups. They're going to let them have their mistakes. And with fire, this is one of those passion things, like, I wanted to show you something easier. You chose this path, so you're going to get it. And I'm going to lead you through it, but I'm also going to make sure that I don't violate my own oaths. So I'm going to show you the gentler path, but you're still going to go through it. So you're still guiding and leading this challenge energy, that which is crossing you, but you're doing it in a way where they still kind of have to deal with the fallout, even though you are helping them move forward. So you have an interesting dynamic going on here, Air. It's like, you know what's right, you know what you should be doing, you know if they would have listened to you in the first place, which is a typical thing for Air to be the smarter one, but they didn't want to listen, so fine, you're going through this, but you're still going to protect them along the way. And that's where that crossing energy is like, yeah, you could save them all of it, but you're like, no, we're not going to. And that's kind of going against your nature a little bit here. Your higher self energy is the Two of Swords. After this is all settled down, I'm feeling that you need to step away for a moment. Retreat. It's not a permanent thing. This is a rest, because by the time you get done leading him through, you're going to need a minute before you take him to the next step, which is through the gates of the two swords. But it's also saying when you pull away, it's not because you're scared or afraid or any of that. It's because you need the moment of quietness. You need that stillness, because the chaos that you're kind of leading him through in this section with the mystery and not knowing what's going on, they may not. Yeah, I think you have a better picture of that than they do. But by the time you're done dealing with all of that chaos, you're going to need this. So your higher self is saying, don't forget to take care of yourself. Pull away. Be alone. Be in quietness or stillness, however you want to play that out, because this is the energy that's being called forth for you. Excuse me. Your shadow, on the other hand, is the Four of Pentacles. And this is basically saying, pay attention to what you have. You don't need to search out others, because you may have lost something that you knew you had, but now you're seeking it out again. It's basically like, well, look to where you last left it. Look to where you had it when you needed it the last time. Because yes, you are successful. You do have that success energy going on here with the Four of Pentacles, which is, Pentacles are your opposite, but your shadow's saying, don't get so wrapped up in acquiring more, because you have everything you need right now. That doesn't mean you can't get more later. That's not what they're saying. This is in the moment. These are the energies that you are kind of needing to work with and work through. So when we look at your middle pillar of energy, your higher self is saying, don't forget to take care of yourself. Step away when necessary. There's some things you may not understand, but you need the rest to be able to lead further. Because in the moment, you're leading everybody, you're the little bird up on top here, you're leading everybody through the chaos. You're the one showing them the way, because they chose the chaos, but you're leading them through a little gentler way. They still have to deal with it. And your shadow's like, but don't get over obsessed with collections. Just do what you do, take your time, and move forward in that aspect, because that energy is going to help ground you by staying focused on, nope, I have what I need. In the future, I can acquire more, but right now, my hands are full. I don't need to add more chaos to my pile. And that's what your shadow's saying, is like, you're good at juggling, but you've got enough going on in your day-to-day life. You really don't need to add more to it. So your shadow's trying to be very supportive here, but also say like, whoa, slow down. So in your immediate history, the last 1 month, 6 months, or a year, you have number 6, the Lovers. With this energy, you may have had a relationship that really bonded you, whether it's a friendship, a work relationship, or a romantic relationship. In the last 1 month, 6 months, or a year, you found that connection. You've been able to balance the opposites if you're working with alchemy. You've figured out how to merge fire and water. You're into the earth over here and the birds. Like, you figured out how to balance everything. And you may have done so with a Piscean of some form, because that is an energy that comes up with this card. It's saying in the past 1 month, 6 months, or a year, you've made that connection. You have developed a deeper bond. And Air, I'm feeling like this is a reminder that you've got the strength because of that bond. And nope, they're saying very, very loudly right now that you're still with this person, whether it's a friendship or romantic or however that works. And that's why them going through this nonsense that you're dealing with right now, you know it's someone else's fault, but you also are aware that, you know what, everyone has to learn their own way, so fine. But that's what's giving you the strength to not just lose it and get frustrated with them, because you have that stable, supporting, balanced energy from the Lovers in your past, which feeds into the future. And your future okay, is the Five of Cups. Don't be upset over the things that don't go right in the moment. You're leading people that may not understand what's happening, and if some of them get annoyed and fall off, that's fine. But look at who succeeds and look at that, focus on them. Don't cry over spilled milk type of energy here. Because if you're focused on, well, those people didn't understand and now they're mad. Okay, and let them be that way. But that's the energy I'm getting here, is if you're leading the charge as with the Five of Pentacles, and the Five of Cups are saying, okay, you did what you could do, but some of them fall off. That's just how that works. And again, we're working with 5, so you're going to have 2 of those creatures. We'll go with the dragons because that's more fun. Survived and did really well. The other ones are just, well, you made us go through that. You didn't tell us a shortcut. You tried. They didn't listen. So this is one of those, like, don't worry about them. They'll figure it out eventually. But what I'm feeling with this card is the people who understood are the ones who are going to rise above that cacophony of, why'd you let us do that? Why did you make us? Why? Don't be upset by that. Focus on these guys, because those are the ones that actually paid attention and learned what you were showing them. So you've got your future is a successful one. Just don't let those the naysayers drag you down, because that's kind of the energy that's coming up in the future. Is you have both camps. Focus on the one that's going to work with you. The other ones can either learn or move. Pretty simple. So your inner world, this could be your attitude, how you feel in the moment, the things going on in the noggin here, is the 9 of Wands. You are still feel like you're the one who has to carry all the load. You're the one who has to step up. You're the one who's had to fight all these battles. You have to show the way again. So you're forging your next weapon because they're just not listening, is kind of the voice that's coming up here. What I'm also seeing is that you are kind of an innate leader. I won't say natural born because that's not quite the right energy. It's the energy of when you need to, you can step up and lead. And that's the energy that's coming up. So in your mind, the way your thought patterns are is, I have to do this because no one else is listening. No one else is paying attention. So fine, I'll take care of it. But you're also willing to step into that role of passion. Like, you know what? If I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it right. I'm going to wrap myself in knowledge and wisdom. I am going to go forward and charge. This is the thought pattern. So getting to this point in the future, you're girding yourself quite well to deal with situations. And I feel like this is something to do with work. This whole reading here, even though this is not a specifically work related one, I feel like the chaos that's going on has to do with being at the job of some form, like you're management and you're trying to like fix the problems. But just like with where you're at now, you've got 3 that are not going to do so great, 2 that are. And notice where those 2 are. They're directly underneath you. So those people are the ones that are going to be supportive of you. So you do have that supportive energy. It's just going to have to deal with the chaos of the rest of them too. So let's look at the outside world. Now this is energy around you that you have no control over, but does have some influence, is how I look at this. It is number 17, the star. So you're being divinely guided is what I'm seeing. You have aimed for the moon and you've ended up amongst the stars, and the stars are like, cool, new friend. So they're supporting you and they're guiding you. You don't even realize the full extent at the moment of who on the other side is with you. The angels, the guides, the guardians, the intelligences of the planets, your own ancestors and family lines. There's a lot of support coming in for you in this moment in August. And that's they're wanting to bring forward is you have aimed so high that they have all started paying attention, being like, what's Air doing? This looks fun. Let's help them. So you have a lot of really strong support. Yeah, in the moment, it doesn't feel so great. Your future is just that reminder, don't focus on the negative because things are going to work out. May just not be how you expect. But you have a celestial, we'll call it that, support team that is cheering you on and offering you guidance. What I'm feeling right now is, even though this is outside of your control and it does affect you, pay attention to your intuitive guidance, your dream states, those daydreams where you're kind of doodling on paper. I don't know if anyone but me still does that, but pay attention to what comes in those moments, because that's when the universe, your guides and guardians, will actually communicate with you. So your hopes and your fears. At least this is your energy, Air. The 5s have been all over the place today. What else we got? We have the 5 of Pentacles, the 5 of Cups, and now we have the 5 of Swords. It's your energy. So your hope here. Your hope is that when you are in this leadership role, that you actually can do the task that needs to be done with the least amount of hostility or aggression. The fear is that you're going to fail and you're going to lash out in the wrong way. Someone's going to try to be apologetic and you're just going to attack. And this energy is really about knowing your balance, knowing your power. I feel like your past card of the Lovers is what's going to temper your fears, which is going to lead you into the hope where you're going to become a better leader, a better manager, a better person for someone else to follow. And that's why the water is such a powerful energy with this card. Is yes, it can be emotionally draining when things don't happen the way they should, but you also are being taught how to differentiate, how to move forward. And that's the important aspect of this. Yes, things may not go the way you ever want them to. And with this, with these 3 5s going on, and the 5 cards tend not to be super exciting or positive, but it's a warning and a message in the same respect, saying, yes, this is not going great. We fully understand, but we're also going to show you a better path. Remember, your outside environment, the things around you, you have the star, and that is very strong good luck energy. But I'm also feeling it's not just the luck part. You literally have guides, guardians, angels, ancestors, God source, the whole cacophony out there who's here to support you. So with that fear part, reach up. When you're afraid you might not be the best version, pray about it. Seek out your guidance, meditate, really get clear on what's going on, Air, because I feel like you are in a really interesting transition point. We'll get to your last card here in a second, but I feel like there is something going on here where you're shifting, and you may not be fully aware of it just yet, but by the end of the month, you're going to be aware. The 9 of Swords is your outcome. Not always the best one, but the energy that comes with this is this feeling of illusions. So it's saying, are you going to submit to the illusion, 5 of what cups, that you didn't do a good job, or are you going to step beyond it? Because what you are being called to do here, it may not be the most comfortable thing. I feel like there's a promotion and you're nervous about it that's coming in here. So you feel like you're not qualified, you're not ready. There's this illusion of failure. Yes, people may not like you. People may fall away. That happens, Air. And I'm not saying that to be flippant, but that's what I'm seeing here is you're leading the charge, so to speak, in the moment, which is going to put you in a position where you're going to be the one to deal with this. Right now you're leading it kind of pro temp, but you're going to end up there, and that's going to be your position. That's why those 2 that are supporting you with the 5 of Cups and the 5 of Pentacles, these 2 up here, those are the ones you should focus on, because they're the ones that are going to stand with you. They're going to be the ones that are saying, no, you did the right thing. This is why. They didn't want to follow the plan, the policy, whatever it is. And yes, there's an emotional component to that, but don't submit to the illusion. The 9 of Swords is about the illusion of failure. And it could be a literal failure too. I'm not saying that, but the energy I'm getting right here is an illusion. So it's not exactly what you thought it was going to be. It's a little different, and that's going to lead you into a different perspective. So there's an underlying theme here, and that is the Page of Pentacles. You're not in the best spot right now, Air. That's fine. You're going to move out of it, though. This is your escape route. So you are focused on this moment, the 5 of Coins, the 5 of Pentacles, where you're dealing with the struggle, you're dealing with the drama, you're dealing with the situation. If they would have just listened to you in the first place, they wouldn't be in the first place. That's the energy I keep getting in. It's kind of entertaining because I get that, but Air, it's not worth fighting about. Remember, you have higher energy that's guiding you, but the door's over here. So yes, get them through their miasma, let them figure out what they're doing, and when you find the people who agree and are willing to move forward, great, go with them. But if you're dealing with those who don't, you know what? You can just stay over there. I led you out of the tunnel. I led you out of the fog. You're not even understanding what I helped you dodge because you weren't paying attention. So we're done. You figure it out. I'm going to go over here. And that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from this reading. So let's hopefully end this on a more positive note with our oracle cards here, because Air, this is a little intense, I will say that. With our oracle cards, what I like to do is I pull 3 different cards, and they could be a more fulfillment from the reading itself, hopefully. Or if you have a question, you can pause the video right now, ask your question, and see which of the cards answer your question, or if it answers it at all. You never know. Could be maybe, could be yes, it could be no. So, also, again, since I read intuitively, if you see something different with these cards, let me know in the comments. While you're down there, hit that like and subscribe button. All those fun online things. And your first oracle card, I'm sorry, Air, this is just adding to the mess here, is number 38, Many Masks, the Authentic Self. You're cutting away the illusions. You're clearing the path ahead. You can wear a lot of masks. Air, you can be a chameleon almost as good as some of the water signs can. And that's what you've been called to do for so long. But now what I'm feeling is when you develop this leadership, this management position, and you start stepping more into that role, this is calling out the authentic version of you, where you start to accept your shadow parts and you integrate them back in. You're listening to your higher self because your higher self is like, take a break. You need a minute or a day. And this is the energy that's coming forward with this many masks is, yes, you can wear all those masks. Yes, you can do all the things. But why do you need to? Why do you think you need to? Because I feel like with this particular energy, you could literally hand off some of these masks because they're not yours anymore and move forward, which is more authentic for you anyway, because yes, you can wear them and you're good at it. You just don't want to, is what I keep feeling. Your second oracle card is number 5, the closing door with completion. Just like with your reading, there is a closing period. Something is coming to an end. An old position, you might be moving up in a promotion, there could be something else closing. There is an ending of being offered to you. And Air, what I'm feeling is, God, listen to your inner guidance, listen to God's source, and allow that energy to help show you what you should do. Should you push the door closed and be like, we're done here, you're done? Or do you want to leave it open and just kind of double check? I'm feeling that may not be the best option in this situation. Just close the door and walk away, because it's not worth revisiting what was going on before. Like, you found your lover's card, you're good to go from your past. Move on into that better state, because you're being offered a higher path. Just like with our little page here, you're being offered a higher path. So don't worry so much about the past. Like, it's there, you're going to learn from it, because that's what we do. But it's not where you stay. The past is behind us for a reason, type of a thing. So, your final card, Air, I just apologize for this whole reading. This is rough. Is number 19 with Falling Angel. Spiritual narcolepsy. Air, have you not been paying attention? Have you not been reaching out to God's source? I feel like this is a reminder or a call back to your prayer and meditation exercises. This is a call back to going back to the temple or to the church or to the coven, whichever it is. Like, you've gotten so busy because of what's going on in this reading that you've not so much given up, but you may have let slack a little bit of your spiritual practice. And this is a reminder to step back to that, Air. That's where the strength of most of us comes from, is getting back into our spiritual practices, our prayers, our meditations, our rosaries, our malas, whatever it is that you do to connect to God's source. It's time for that to be reconnected. The falling angel aspect is saying you may have stepped away, not intentionally, with the way this reading went today, the amount of chaos you may be juggling right now. There's a reason that you're like, I'll get to it. But I'm feeling like that's the reason that the chaos is so frustrating right now, is because you've allowed other things to interfere. So what I'm feeling for Air is, this is a good time to hand off some of those masks, let someone else deal with them. Allow that door to the past to close. You can learn your lessons, but you don't need to carry the emotional excitement with it anymore. Let that just stay over there in the miasma. And really get that connection back to God's source. Really get that connection back to your ancestors, to your guides, however you see that energy, because you're being tried right now, little trial going on, because it's time to see how far you're willing to go. How strong do you want to become, and how far do you want to grow? There's a lot of positive here, even though in the moment it does not feel that way. Your outcome is saying, are you willing to cut away the illusion? Or are you going to keep it? With that being said, Air, I hope you have a great rest of your month. Know that this is not permanent or constant. This stuff changes all the time. With that, I will let you go. Have a great rest of your month, and I will see you in the next video.